Let me tell you something very important, something I learned not just in business but in life. Don't let people know too much about you. This might sound strange at first. You may think, why not? I'm honest, I'm open, I've got nothing to hide. But life isn't that simple. The more people know about you, the more power they have over you. When I was building Alibaba, I faced criticism, doubts, rejections, you name it. But do you know what I never did? I never let people see the full picture of my struggles, my fears, or my next moves. Not because I was afraid, but because I understood one thing. People don't always use what they know to help you. Sometimes they use it to control you. Even your closest friend can turn into your biggest critic the moment you expose too much of your inner world. The truth is, not everyone is cheering for you. Some are watching just to see you fall. Some smile at you but secretly compete with you. And when you let everyone know your plans, your pain, your weaknesses, they use them against you. Life is like a game of chess. If your opponent knows all your moves, you will lose. It's not about lying, it's about being wise. It's about protecting your peace. Some things are meant to be shared only with yourself. Your dreams, your next step, your pain, your insecurities. You see, people can pretend to care, but curiosity doesn't mean loyalty. Some just want to know your story so they can gossip about it. Some want to be close to you, not because they support you, but because they want to keep an eye on your growth. So I tell people, stay humble, stay kind, but stay private. Don't tell everyone how hard you're working. Let your results speak. Don't share your every failure. Learn in silence, win in public. Don't overshare your emotions. Handle your pain in private and let the world see only your strength. People may not harm what they cannot see, and they cannot target what they do not know. Silence protects and mystery builds power. If they can't figure you out, they can't stop you. So today, I want you to remember, your journey is sacred. Your dreams are powerful. Don't waste them on people who don't value them. Don't let everyone into your mind, your soul, your plans. Build quietly, rise silently, and when you reach the top, let them wonder, how did he do it? And you will smile, not out of arrogance, but because you chose wisdom over attention. Keep moving forward, stay focused, and most of all, stay private. Let me ask you something. Have you ever felt drained, not because of the work you did, but because of the people you shared it with? Have you ever had your dreams ridiculed, not because they weren't good, but because someone didn't want you to succeed? I have, and that's why I say this with full belief. Protect your power through silence. In life, we all have energy, emotional, mental, spiritual energy. And the moment you open your mouth to share everything, your ideas, your plans, your next steps, your pain, you're spending that energy. Every word you speak is like currency. The more you give away carelessly, the less you have left to invest in your actual growth. When you're constantly explaining yourself to others, when you keep telling people what you're working on, what you're going through, what you're building, you are slowly giving them access to your internal power. You don't need to tell the world everything. Why? Because not everyone has the capacity to understand your vision. Some people will hear your ideas and laugh. Others will take your ideas and run with them. Worse, some will pretend to support you while secretly hoping you fail. That's the reality. The more you talk, the more exposed you become. Silence is not weakness, it is wisdom, it is protection. When I started Alibaba, people laughed at me. They thought it was a joke. An English teacher starting a tech company, they said, I didn't fight them with words. I didn't try to convince them. I stayed silent and focused. Because I knew something they didn't know. Energy is more powerful than attention. I didn't need their approval. I needed discipline. I needed patience. And I needed silence to keep my vision safe while it grew. Imagine you are planting a seed. In the beginning, the seed is fragile. You don't take it out every day to show people. If you keep digging it up to prove that it's growing, it will never grow. It needs protection. It needs to be hidden. The same goes for your dreams. Let them grow in silence. Let them take root before you show them to the world. Some people just want information to control you. If they know where you're going, they'll try to get there before you. If they know your weakness, they'll use it. If they know your fear, they'll feed it. But if you stay silent, they are confused. And when they're confused, they cannot stop you. Silence also gives you power over your own mind. When you're not constantly talking, you're thinking, you're creating, you're reflecting, you're planning with clarity. The most dangerous person in the room is not the one who talks the most. It's the one who observes, who listens, who watches quietly, and strikes when the time is right. So many young people today are addicted to telling the world what they'll do, telling everyone how they feel, telling strangers on the internet their entire life story, and then they wonder why their life feels so exposed, so chaotic, so attacked. It's because you're giving away your power with every unnecessary word. Keep your plans private. Keep your goals to yourself. Share your success when it's ready. Let your silence do the heavy lifting and your results do the talking. Because when you're silent, you're unpredictable. When you're unpredictable, you're unstoppable. Remember, lions don't roar when they're hunting. They move in silence, and that's why they are feared. Be like that. Stay focused, stay grounded, and above all, stay silent. That is how you protect your power. Absolutely. Here's an expanded and emotionally resonant version of Key Point 2. Not everyone wants you to win in the style of Jack Ma, crafted to be engaging, relatable, and full of real-world wisdom, around 400 plus words as requested. You know, in life, we often assume that the people around us, our friends, our family, our colleagues, are all rooting for us. We think, they know my struggle, so they must want to see me win. But here's the painful truth. Not everyone wants you to win. This was one of the hardest lessons I had to learn. When I started out, I believed everyone who smiled at me, everyone who said, I believe in you, everyone who said, I'm happy for you. But over time, I realized something strange. The more I grew, the quieter those people became. The more I succeeded, the more their support turned into silence, jealousy, or even criticism. You see, some people don't dislike you. They just dislike the fact that you're doing better than them. Your progress reminds them of their own procrastination. Your ambition highlights their comfort zone. And your courage exposes their fear. So instead of celebrating you, they start competing with you, silently or openly. That's why sharing too much with the wrong people is dangerous. The moment they see your dream getting closer to reality, they'll start planting doubts in your mind. Are you sure this is the right time? You're taking a big risk. You know most people fail at this, right? They won't attack you directly, but they'll weaken you quietly, like termites, not tigers. People pretend to support you, but deep down, they want you to stay on the same level, because if you rise, it forces them to face their own laziness, their own fear, their own wasted time. And many people can't handle that reflection, so they try to pull you back down, not out of evil, but out of insecurity. That's why I tell young people, be careful who you share your fire with. Some will use it to light their own path. Others will try to blow it out. You must learn to protect your energy. Not everyone deserves a front row seat to your life. Let your moves be private, your growth be silent, and your success be loud. In the end, the people who truly want you to win will support you in silence and celebrate you in public. The rest, let them watch from a distance, but never slow down just to make them comfortable. Keep going, keep growing, even if it makes others uncomfortable, because you were not born to shrink, you were born to shine. We live in a time where people love to talk. Everyone wants to announce what they're doing, where they're going, who they're meeting, and what their next big plan is. They talk about goals, dreams, strategies, and hustle, all over social media, in conversations, even in interviews. But let me tell you something important. Talking doesn't build success. Actions do. When I was starting Alibaba, I didn't go around telling the world, one day I'll build the biggest e-commerce platform in China. No, I just got to work. I gathered a small team. We worked in a small apartment. We had limited resources, no money, and no fancy office. But we had belief, and we worked every single day, quietly, consistently, persistently. We weren't trying to impress anyone. We were just focused on the goal. That's the secret most people don't understand. The people who actually succeed are too busy working to talk about it all the time. They're not tweeting every idea. They're not updating the world with every step. They are grinding in silence while the world is watching someone else make noise. Here's what I've learned. When you speak too much, you create expectations. But when you work in silence, you create results. And results are undeniable. People may doubt your words, but they can't argue with your success. That's why silence is powerful. It creates a mystery. It builds pressure. And when you finally show your work, it shocks people. You don't need to prove anything to anyone. You don't need to explain your vision to people who don't believe in you. You don't need to defend your decisions to people who are not walking your path. Just build, just work, just deliver. Let your achievements be your answer. Let your progress be your voice. And remember this, lions don't need to roar to prove they're strong. They walk with quiet confidence. That's how you should move through life. Calm, focused, determined. No need to shout, no need to announce. Your actions will make more noise than your words ever could. So, if you really want to make it, don't just talk about how hungry you are, start hunting. Don't tell people what you're building. Let them see it when it's finished. Because when you do more and speak less, your success will echo louder than any speech ever could. Be humble, be quiet, be relentless. Let me tell you something many people don't realize until it's too late. Privacy is power, and privacy builds peace. In this noisy world where everyone is sharing every detail of their life, what they eat, what they feel, who they meet, what they plan, being private has become rare. But those who understand the value of privacy are the ones who live with the most peace. You see, when your life is too public, it becomes a playground for other people's opinions. The more you expose, the more people think they have the right to comment, judge, or interfere. And before you know it, you're not living your life for yourself anymore. You're living it for the validation, approval, and reactions of others. That's not peace, that's pressure. When I was building my dream, I didn't talk too much about what I was going through. Not because I had something to hide, but because I needed mental clarity. I needed emotional protection. If I had shared every fear, every doubt, every challenge, I would have opened the door for stress, distraction, and unwanted opinions. And when you're trying to build something great, the last thing you need is noise. Privacy gives you space to breathe. It gives you control. It keeps your energy clean. When no one knows what you're working on, no one can sabotage it. When no one knows what you're struggling with, no one can manipulate it. When no one knows what you're feeling, they can't use it against you. There's a big difference between isolation and privacy. I'm not saying shut everyone out. I'm saying protect your peace by guarding your inner world. Not every emotion needs to be tweeted. Not every move needs to be posted. Not every thought needs an audience. The world doesn't need to know what you're going through in order for you to heal. Your dreams don't need public approval to come true. The more private your journey is, the more peaceful your mind becomes, and the more focused your actions will be. So choose peace over popularity. Choose quiet over chaos. Let your privacy be your armor. Let it protect your mind, your emotions, your progress. Because in the silence of your own space, you'll find strength, clarity, and direction. And when you're ready, when your success is solid, let them see the results, not the process. Let your peace speak for you. There's something I want you to understand clearly. Your struggles are not for public entertainment. Your pain is not content. Your setbacks are not a story to feed other people's curiosity. In today's world, we are taught that sharing everything, especially our struggles, is a form of strength. And yes, vulnerability has its place, but only when it's safe, when it's respected, when it's earned. But let me ask you, how many people really care? I mean really care about what you're going through? How many people are listening to help, not just to gossip? The reality is, most people don't want to understand your struggle. They just want to know about it. There's a big difference. One builds empathy, the other builds rumors. When I was trying to raise funds for Alibaba, I was rejected by dozens of investors. I could have complained. I could have told the world, this is unfair. No one believes in me. But I didn't. Why? Because I knew something. If I share my struggle too soon, it will be laughed at. But if I succeed, the same struggle will become inspirational. You see, timing matters. Struggles, when shared too early, invite judgment, doubt, and pity. But when shared after victory, they inspire. So what should you do? Go through the storm quietly. Fight your battles privately. Heal your wounds silently. And once you're standing strong, then maybe, if you choose, you can share the lesson, not the pain. Don't give people the weapon to hurt you by telling them where it already hurts. Don't hand over your emotional vulnerability to people who haven't earned your trust. Some people don't want to support your healing. They just want to watch your breakdown. Don't give them the satisfaction. Silence is not weakness. It is self-respect. It is a form of discipline, and it is the most powerful shield you can wear when you're still figuring life out. Talk to yourself. Talk to God. Talk to those who love you truly, not the crowd. The crowd is not your therapist. The world doesn't need to see your tears to believe you're human. So I say this from experience. Go through your pain in private. Grow through your pain in silence, and then let the strength you built from it speak for you. Let your story be told on your terms when you are ready, not when the world is hungry for drama. You are not a show. You are a story still being written. Keep your pages closed until it's time to share the chapter called Victory. There's something powerful that most people overlook. Mystery attracts respect. In a world where everyone is shouting for attention, the quiet one, the one who moves without explaining, who builds without broadcasting, who grows without bragging, becomes the most respected, the most watched, and the most feared. Why? Because people fear what they can't figure out. You see, the more you reveal about yourself, the easier it is for others to form opinions, to criticize, to judge, to label. But when you stay silent, when you move with intention and keep your progress private, you create an aura, an energy that says, you don't need to know everything about me, just watch. When I was starting out, people kept asking me, Jack, what's your plan? How are you going to compete with the big companies? I smiled. I didn't argue. I didn't explain every detail because I knew explaining too much invites limitation. People will put their fears into your head. They will tell you what can't be done, not because it's impossible, but because they couldn't do it. Mystery makes people curious, and curiosity, when combined with consistency, turns into admiration. The less you explain yourself, the more people wonder what drives you. The less you post about your work, the more people question what you're building. That's power, that's influence, and it comes not from exposure, but from self-control. When people can't predict your next move, they can't block it. When they don't know what you're thinking, they can't manipulate you. When they can't label you, they are forced to respect you. That's how powerful mystery can be. And no, this isn't about being secretive out of fear. This is about being strategic. Let the world know just enough to keep them watching, but never enough to figure you out. Let your results confuse them. Let your growth shock them. Let your success make the noise, not your mouth. You don't need to trend. You don't need to explain. You don't need to be loud. Just be effective. Let them underestimate you. Let them assume you're quiet because you're weak. Then let your results rewrite their assumptions. Because at the end of the day, those who are mysterious are often the most respected. And those who are respected are the ones who don't need to speak to be heard. So stay grounded, stay focused, and most importantly, stay unpredictable. So in the end, remember this. Your life is not a public performance. It's a personal mission. Not everyone deserves access to your mind, your heart, or your plans. The more you reveal, the more you risk being misunderstood, misjudged, or even misused. Be kind, but not transparent. Be honest, but not exposed. Speak your truth, but don't give away your strategy. Keep your circle tight, your mind focused, and your path protected. Your silence is not emptiness, it is strength. Your privacy is not hiding, it is protection. You don't need applause to make progress. You don't need attention to find direction. You just need clarity, consistency, and courage. Work hard in silence, build without noise, grow with discipline. And when the time is right, let your success introduce you to the world without you saying a single word. Let people wonder, let them guess, let them talk. Because while they're busy trying to figure you out, you'll be too far ahead for their opinions to matter. Be silent, be smart, be unstoppable. That's how you win.